Okay, write down parts per million. So what is parts per million? It is number of parts of solute present in million parts, means 10 power 6 parts of the solution. So million means 10 power 6 now. So therefore it is the number of parts of solute present in million parts of solution or solvent? It is solution only, right? So number of parts of the solute present in million parts of the solution is called parts per million. It is also called ppm. So therefore ppm equal to, what is the formula? It is the number of parts of solute. Therefore number of parts of solute divided by total parts of the solution. Total parts of solution, that is a solute plus solvent into 100. Number of parts of solute, it is number of parts of solute divided by number of parts of, so 10 power, okay, what is 10 power 6 in million parts, right? Write down parts per million, number of parts of solute present in million parts of solution, called parts per million. Okay, then where this method is used? See here, it is a number of parts of solute in million parts. That means how many parts of the solute present in a million parts of the solution. It means this method is used to calculate the very minute concentrations of solute, right? So when the solute is present in very minute concentrations, this method can be used, particularly hardness of water, right? So in the determination of hardness of water, so hardness of water due to calcium, magnesium ions or not, bicarbonate, sulfate, chlorides, etc., right? So therefore, so here hardness of water where calcium, magnesium ions are in minute concentration. So wherever minute concentrations of solutes are present, this method can be used, because how many parts of solute present in million parts of solution, that is the meaning. Okay, so therefore right, continuation, this method is used to calculate the very minute concentrations of solute. This method is used to calculate the very minute concentrations of solute, Next point, hardness of water can be determined by ppm, parts per million. Okay, take one example. 5 grams of magnesium dissolved in 5 grams of magnesium dissolved in million grams of the aqueous solution. What is the ppm? So what is the ppm? 5. Why? So ppm equal to 5 only, because here 5 grams of the solution, that is magnesium, it dissolved in how many grams? 10 power 6. That means the number of parts of the solute present in million parts of the solution. In million parts of the solution, there is a 5 parts of or 5 grams of magnesium is dissolved. Therefore, so the hardness of water is 5 ppm. So in this we can calculate. Okay. So next, fifth method is, yeah, here write one note. Note is W by W percentage, comma, W by V percentage, comma, V by V percentage, and ppm are which methods? They are physical methods of expressing concentration. First 4 methods are physical methods of expressing concentration. Okay. Next, fifth one is mole fraction. Mole fraction. So what is mole fraction? And there are good number of questions can be expected on this concept. So what is mole fraction? How to calculate mole fraction? Tell me, what is the mole fraction? It is the number of moles of one component to the total number of moles of all component. So therefore it is actually ratio, right? The ratio of number of moles of any one component to the total number of moles of what? All the component is called mole fraction, nothing but mole ratio. So therefore the ratio of number of moles of one component to the number of moles of all component called mole fraction. The ratio of number of moles of one component to the total number of moles of all component called mole fraction. Now for example, let us take one example. Let the Na, comma, Nb and Nc are the number of moles of A, comma, B, comma, C components, right? There are 3 component A, B, C components. Their number of moles of Na, Nb, Nc and Xa, comma, Xb and Xc are what? Their mole fraction respectively. Their mole fractions respectively. Okay, then what is the mole fraction of A, B, C component? Okay, see here in this example we have taken, let the Na, Nb, Nc. So what Na, Nb, Nc are? Number of moles of A, B, C component, right? So there are 3 component, A component, B component, C component, right? So therefore here number of moles of A is how many? Na. Number of moles of B is Nb. Number of moles of C is Nc respectively. And what is their mole fractions? Their mole fractions are Xa, Xb and Xc respectively. Then what is the mole fraction of Xa, Xb? That is A, B, C. So mole fraction of A, Xa equal to, so it is the ratio of number of moles of one component. It means number of moles of A divided by total number of moles of all the component. So it means Na by Na plus Nb plus Nc. Next, Xb equal to, right, it is Nb by number of moles of B divided by Na plus Nb plus Nc, sorry, Nc. Next, what is Xc equal to? X equal to, it is Nc by Na plus Nb plus Nc. Okay. So therefore the mole fraction of A, B, C components are respectively this. Then, but we also know that the sum of the mole fractions of all the component always equal to 1. So the sum, it is Xa plus Xb plus Xc is always equal to 1. So that means, so sum of the mole fractions, sum of the mole fractions of all the components equal to 1. That means Xa plus Xb plus Xc, which is always equal to 1. Okay, take down. Okay. Now tell me, to calculate the mole fraction, listen, to calculate the mole fraction, what do you have to calculate? Number of moles, right? So to calculate the mole, listen, very good, it is a good question, many times question was appeared. To calculate mole fraction, we need to calculate number of moles, right? If you know the number of moles, you can calculate mole fractions, right? So therefore, sometime they'll give the mass. By giving the mass, they can expect to calculate the mole fraction, right? So take one question, right? 2 moles of sodium hydroxide, 2 moles of sodium hydroxide dissolved in 5 moles of water. 2 moles of sodium hydroxide dissolved in 5 moles of water. Calculate the mole fraction of sodium hydroxide and water.
2/7 and 5/7.
Yeah, it is very simple. Calculate the mole fraction of sodium hydroxide and mole fraction of water. See, yeah, there are 2 components, sodium hydroxide one component, water is another component, right? Now, so what they have given? N sodium hydroxide, number of moles of sodium hydroxide equal to 2 given. Number of moles of water is given, how many moles?
5.
It is 5 moles, right? So therefore, what is the mole fraction? X sodium hydroxide equal to,
2/8.
so number of moles of sodium hydroxide divided by number of moles of sodium hydroxide plus water. So how many moles of sodium hydroxide? 2 moles. Then 2 plus 5. So then 2/7 you can get it. Right. Next, it is the number of moles of sodium hydroxide. Then we want number of mole fraction of sodium hydroxide. Then mole fraction of water. How do you calculate mole fraction of water? Mole fraction of water equal to,
Moles of water by
you can calculate, it is 1 minus 2/7. Why? The sum of the mole fractions is always equal to 1. That means the mole fraction of sodium hydroxide plus mole fraction of water equal to 1. Right? See, sum of the mole fractions of all the component equal to 1. Therefore, you can take X water equal to 1 minus 2/7. So here number of moles given directly. If the number of moles given directly, it is easy to calculate. So instead of number of moles, sometime they will give the mass. Okay, take another question. Done. 4 grams of sodium hydroxide dissolved in 4 grams of sodium hydroxide dissolved in 180 grams of water. 180 grams of water. Calculate the mole fraction of sodium hydroxide. Calculate the mole fraction of sodium hydroxide. Tell me, here we need to calculate NaOH, question mark. To calculate XNaOH, what do you have to calculate? Number of moles of sodium hydroxide and number of moles of water should be calculated. Then tell me, how do you calculate mole? So, okay, mole equal to, there are three formulas: mass of substance divided by gram molecular mass, right? This is a one formula. To calculate mole, we have three different formulas. It is one is mass related formula, second one is number related formula, third one is volume related formula. There are three formulas. So first one is mole equal to mass by gram molecular mass. This is a mass related formula. Next is mole also equal to number related formula. Mole also equal to, in place of mass of the substance, you can take number of particles divided by 6.022 into 10 power 23 particles. That means Avogadro number of particles. This is a second formula. When particles are given, use this formula: mole equal to number of particles divided by Avogadro number of particles. There is another formula, mole also related with volume. Tell me, if volume is given, how do you calculate mole? Mole equal to, in place of number of particle, you can take volume of the gas divided by, in place of this Avogadro number, you can take 22.4 liter. So therefore mole also equal to, it is volume of gas in liter divided by 22.4 liter, right? So these are the three different formulas used to calculate mole, right? So we will study in some basic concepts, first year, first topic. Okay, so therefore now tell me, now calculate first number of moles of sodium hydroxide. So how many moles of sodium hydroxide here? 4 grams of sodium hydroxide dissolved in 180 grams of water. So here, therefore now tell me, NaOH, number of moles of sodium hydroxide equal to, here mass given, no, sodium hydroxide mass given, therefore mass divided by gram molecular mass. What is the gram molecular mass of sodium hydroxide?
47.
NaOH, sodium 23 plus oxygen 16 plus 1, which is 40, right? So therefore 4 by 40, how much it is? 0.1. Next, water, number of moles of water. What is the mass of the water given? 180 mass divided by 18. The molecular mass of water is 18, no? So mass by gram molecular mass, therefore it is 10. So therefore now calculate mole fraction NaOH equal to, number of moles of NaOH is 0.1, number of moles of water is 10 plus 0.1. You can calculate it. Okay, one more question. 6.3 grams of oxalic acid, 6.3 grams of oxalic acid present in 18 grams of water. Present in 18 grams of water. Calculate the mole fraction of oxalic acid. Calculate the mole fraction of oxalic acid. Here 6.3 grams of oxalic acid. What is oxalic acid? H2C2O4. H2C2O4 is a oxalic acid. So which is dissolved in how many grams? Just 18 grams of water. So therefore here mass given, mass of the oxalic acid given, mass of the water given. Then from the mass what to calculate first? Number of moles. Calculate the number of moles of oxalic acid and calculate the number of moles of water. Right. When mass is given, how do you calculate number of moles? It is mass by gram molecular mass. So mass equal to 6.3. Then what is the gram molecular mass? H2C2O4. 78, huh? Sure. 70. 2 plus 24 plus 64. 78 grams. Okay. 86, huh? 90? 90. Okay. Calculate the mole. Next, N water, number of moles of water equal to 18 grams of water given and molecular mass also 18, it is 1 mole. 0.0 approximately 0.07. So therefore mole fraction oxalic acid H2C2O4 equal to 0.07 divided by 1 plus 0.07. You can get it answer. Right on. 20% W by W glucose solution is prepared by adding water. 20% W by W glucose solution is prepared by adding water. Prepared by adding required quantity of adding water. You can take adding water, no problem. Adding water. Calculate the mole fraction of glucose. So in last class we discussed this. And tell me, 20% W by W means what? It is a 20 grams of the solute present in 100 grams of the solution. Then how many grams of the solvent? 80 grams. So therefore, so what is the solute here? Glucose. What is the solvent here? Water. Therefore, can I take it is solute is 20 grams glucose. It is a solute. And how many grams of the solvent? So you can take directly 80 grams of water. Then calculate mole fraction of glucose. So what is the formula of glucose? C6H12O6. Therefore, calculate number of moles of glucose. Number of moles of glucose equals to 20 divided by molecular weight is 180.
1/9.
Molecular mass of glucose is 180. Next, number of moles of water equal to, it is 80 divided by 18. It is 5, no? We'll get 5. Barla? 5. 4.4. 4.4. Okay, calculate. Next method of concentration is fifth one, molarity, right? Right on, molarity. Molarity. Okay, listen first. Yeah, see, mole fraction, molarity, molality, normality. These four are very, very important. 100% question will come. Okay, directly, indirectly, question will be there. And moreover, this methods of expressing concentration, this subtopic is in, even we study in first PUC, some basic concepts of chemistry, exactly same. So since we are studying here, I don't teach there. It is exactly same. Okay. Alright, listen. First, what is molarity? So what is molarity and its unit and different formula related to molarity. So molarity is the number of moles of solute. It is the number of moles of solute present in 1 liter of solution or 1 decimeter dm cube of solution is called molarity. So therefore, molarity is nothing but number of moles of solute or solvent or solute present in 1 decimeter cube or 1 liter of solution or solvent. It must be solution, not solvent, right? So therefore, the number of moles of solute present in 1 liter or 1 decimeter cube of solution is called molarity. So therefore, we know that 1 liter is always equal to decimeter cube and 1 milliliter is always equal to centimeter cube. Okay. So therefore, now from the statement, can we write molarity capital M equal to number of moles of solute? I'll take N, number of moles of the solute present in or dissolved in how many liter? 1 liter. I'll take this is a volume in liter. So therefore, molarity equal to number of moles of solute divided by volume in liter. So N by V, where N equal to what? Number of moles of solute only, and V equal to volume of solution, right? It should be in liter. So volume of the solution in liter. Therefore, molarity capital M equal to N by V. Then tell me, from this equation, can you tell me what is the unit of molarity? Number of moles, it is a mole. V is a liter. Therefore, unit is moles per liter is the unit of molarity. Next, whether molarity depends on temperature or not. This was the previous question. Whether molarity term depends on temperature or not. See, it is depends on temperature because there is a volume term, right? We know that volume is depends on temperature. So what is the relation between volume and temperature? As the temperature increases, volume is increases. So therefore, temperature is directly proportional to volume, right? When temperature increases, volume increases. When volume increases, molarity decreases. So therefore, so temperature increases, volume increases, molarity decreases. So what is the relation? So molarity is inversely proportional to temperature. Important. It means as the temperature increases, what happen? Molarity is decreases. Okay. Next. Fine. So can we write molarity also equal to number of moles of solute? I'll take N as it is. This volume of solution, I'll take volume of solution in milliliter, and you can multiply with what? 1000. Therefore, this is also molarity formula. Molarity equal to number of moles into 1000 divided by volume in milliliter. Next, but we know that number of moles equal to, tell me, it is weight by gram molecular weight. So weight of what? Solute or solvent? Generally solute taken with B. Yes or no? So generally A is a solvent, remember, or even 1 also solvent, and B or 2 is what? Solute. In this topic we use these terms. A is a solvent or 1 is a solvent, B is a solute or 2 is a solute. Therefore, can I take it is a WB by gram molecular weight of B. So therefore, now tell me, molarity is equals to number of moles. In place of number of moles, I can write WB by gram molecular weight is denoted with capital M. It is also B. This is into 1000 divided by V should be in milliliter. So this formula is very commonly used to calculate molarity. Okay. Next, this is one important formula. This is second important formula to calculate molarity. Next, so what happened molarity in case of first dilution? Okay, case 1 for dilution. Tell me, for the dilution what happened molarity? So what is the meaning of dilution? Addition of water. So addition of water to any concentrated solution is called dilution. So right, when a concentrate solution is diluted or added, what happens? Obviously concentration is decreases, molarity decreases. Okay, now tell me here, molarity equal to N by V, right? I'll take same formula here. Capital M molarity equal to number of moles of solute divided by volume in liter. Okay, then let us take number of moles of solute equal to capital M into V. Can we write? Now tell me, when any concentrate solution is diluted, whether number of moles of solute going to change? Number of moles of solute, is it changes or not? For example, you take this beaker containing 2 moles of NaOH solution. 2 moles of NaOH solution means water will be there. Okay, it contains 2 moles of sodium hydroxide. To this 2 moles of sodium hydroxide, then add 100 ml of water. That is nothing but dilution. When we add water to 2 moles of sodium hydroxide, is it 2 moles of sodium hydroxide become 4 mole? Is it 2 mole become 1 mole? Why? We are not adding sodium hydroxide, we are adding what? Water. So the same thing happen in case of dilution. In dilution, what is the dilution? Adding water to concentrated solution. When we add water to any concentrated solution, the number of moles of solute does not change. It remains constant. So when there is a 2 mole, after adding water also 2 mole. When there is a 10 mole, after adding even 1000 liter also 10 mole. What changes? Volume changes, solvent changes. So therefore here number of moles, right, number of moles of solute remains constant. So therefore, since number of moles of solute is constant, can I take m into v is a constant, right? M into v is constant. It is a constant, therefore m into v, it is a before dilution, yes or no? Which is equals to m into v after dilution will be same or not? So this is the formula is used for the dilution. For dilution, m into v or m1 v1 also can be taken. m1 v1 equal to m2 v2, where m1 v1 when it is molarity before dilution, volume before dilution, m2 molarity after dilution, v2 volume after dilution. So therefore, where m1 equal to molarity of solution before dilution and v1 volume of solution, it is also before dilution. m2 equal to what? Molarity of solution after dilution. Now tell me, when you compare m1 m2, which is greater? m1 is before dilution, m2 is after. So obviously m1 is more compared to m2. Then where what is v2 equal to? It is volume of solution after dilution. See, this v2 is a volume of solution after dilution, but sometimes they ask what is the volume of water added. Okay, so therefore volume of H2O added, water added. So how do you calculate how much volume water added? So it is a before dilution, how much volume is there? After dilution, how much volume is there? Then v2 minus v1. So v2 is a greater, then v1 is lesser. So v2 minus v1, which is gives nothing but volume of water is added, right? So this is very very important when water is added or in dilution. So m1 v1 equal to m2 v2. Sometimes they ask directly what is the molarity after dilution. Sometimes they ask v2. Sometimes they ask what is the volume of water should be added to make so and so volume, so and so concentration. Okay. Next, it is dilution. Next is right, when density is given or density of solution is given. Okay, when the density of the solution is given, molarity can be calculated. How? Molarity equal to, so there is a direct formula, W by V percentage into 10 into density divided by gram molecular weight, where D equal to what? Density of solution. Do you remember density of solution also be taken as a specific gravity? Yes, it can also be taken as a specific gravity. Why? Anybody? There is a relation, specific gravity equal to nothing but relative density. Relative density, specific gravity equal to, that is density of solution divided by density of water. So specific gravity or relative density, which is equals to density of the solution by density of water. But at 25 degrees Celsius, what is the density of water? Density of water is approximately 1 gram per cubic centimeter. Yes. So 1 gram per cubic centimeter density. Therefore, if you take it is this density of water is 1 gram. So then specific gravity equal to density. of solution. Therefore, this density of solution can be taken as a specific gravity. Sometime this formula can be given like this: molarity also equal to W by V. What is the W by V percentage? Weight by volume percentage into 10 into specific gravity into that divided by gram molecular mass, gram molecular weight. So therefore, density which is equals to specific gravity. Okay, right till here. Right, when two solutions having same solute is mixed, first tell me, like for example, there are two solutions. Let us take it is HCl, it is a 0.5 m HCl and 100 ml HCl, and there is a one more HCl, solute is same, okay, its concentration is 0.1 m and its volume is 200 ml. Tell me whether both are having same solute or different solute? Same solute. Both are same acids? No. That means when two acids are mixed or when two bases are mixed, then what is the resultant molarity? The resultant molarity capital M is equals to, it is M1 V1 plus M2 V2 by V1 plus V2. Important, right? This is when two solutions having same solute mixed. Next, fourth one, when two solutions having different solute is mixed. Tell me, when the two solutions having different solutes are mixed, then how do you calculate molarity? So there molarity directly cannot be calculated, you better calculate normality. In such case, normality can be calculated. Normality is equals to, it is N1 V1 minus N2 V2 divided by V1 plus V2. Therefore, you calculate normality, from the normality you can convert into molarity. How do you convert into molarity? There is a relation, normality equal to N factor into molarity. So what is N factor? We are going to study in equivalent mass. That is, next class we will start the equivalent mass. There you will get N factor. So therefore, normality equal to N factor into molarity. You can interchange the normal to molarity, molarity to normality. So therefore, when two solutions having different solutes are mixed, better you calculate normality. From the normality you can calculate molarity. Okay, next, fifth one. If suppose acid reacts with base or base reacts with acid, that is called what? Neutralization, right? For the neutralization, what is the formula can be used? See, for the neutralization reaction, usually we use normality, N1 V1 which is equals to N2 V2. This is the best method to calculate the in neutralization reaction. But in terms of molarity, that can also be used, molarity, that is M1 V1 by N1 which is equals to M2 V2 by N2. This formula can also be used, but I always suggest use this formula because we will get many application to this. You can use this also, but here you need to use N1, N2 also, where N1, N2 are the coefficients, not number of moles. That's what many students get confused here. Small n1, small n2, these are not number of moles, they are coefficients. So what is the meaning of coefficient? Suppose, let us take sulfuric acid H2SO4 reacts with sodium hydroxide, strong acid, strong base, which gives rise to what? H2O plus NaCl. How many NaCl? 2 Na2SO4, right? And how many water molecule? How many? It is a 2 H2O. 2 na 1 na? 2 sodium, 1 OH. It is a 2 hydrogen, no? So 2H2O. So therefore, now it is a balanced equation. Now tell me here, what is the coefficient of sulfuric acid? 1. If I take, this is a acid, it is a base. Tell me, coefficient is 1. What is the coefficient of sodium hydroxide? 2. So therefore, here coefficient, acid coefficient is 1, base coefficient is, tell me, it is 2. So therefore, here we need to use coefficient. But if you use this formula, here coefficient is not required. N1 V1 which is equals to N2 V2. So this method is more preferable to calculate the even molarity normality in neutralization reactions. Okay. Next is here one important note. In problems, generally question will be given like this. Sometime 0.5 molar, instead of 0.5 molar, they may give semimolar, decimolar, centimolar. These terms can be used. So what is the meaning of molar, semimolar, decimolar? If it is a molarity is 1, it is called molar solution. They need not to use 1 molarity, or molarity is 1. So if the molarity is 1, molar solution. If the molarity is 0.5, it is called semimolar. If the molarity is 0.1 m deci and it is a 0.01 centino, deci, centi, milli, micro, 0.001, it is a milli molar, right? So therefore, capital M, 0.5 capital M, right? Molar, semimolar, decimolar, centimolar and millimolar. In question only they will give 200 ml of decimolar NaOH, 200 ml of decimolar NaOH. It means volume is 200 ml. What is the molarity? 0.1 m molarity, like that. So you need to understand what is the molarity. Okay. Next, one more important point is calculation of molarity of the ions. So this is also very good question, appear particularly in electrochemistry. What is the meaning of, now how ions will dissociate and how to calculate the molarity of ions? Question is like this. If it is 1 molar calcium chloride gives rise to how many moles of calcium ion, how many moles of chloride ions? If it is 1 molar calcium chloride, tell me, we know that calcium chloride, 1 molar calcium chloride gives rise to calcium plus 2 plus 2Cl minus. So in a solution taken 1 molar calcium chloride, then the solution contain how many molar Cl minus ion, how many molar calcium plus 2 ion? Right. If it is a 1 molar, right, this 1 molar gives 1 mole, it means 1 molar. It gives 2 mole, it means 2 molar. The solution contain 2 molar Cl minus ion. Similarly, if it is 1 molar AlCl3 undergo complete dissociation, tell me, it gives 1 Al plus 3 plus 3 Cl minus. If I take here 1 molar AlCl3, then how many molar Al plus 3 and how many molar Cl? 3 molar. Right. Suppose if I take 2 molar H2SO4 undergo complete dissociation, it gives how many molar? It is taken 2 molar. Come on, tell me. 2 molar sulfuric acid undergo complete dissociation, it gives how many molar sulfate ions? I want sulfate ions. How many molar? Right, see, 1 mole, this 1 mole gives 2 mole, 1 mole gives 1 mole, but how many molar taken? 2 molar. 2 molar gives 1 molar gives 2, no, 2 molar gives 4 molar. Do you understand? 1 mole equal to 2 mole. It is actually 2 molar means 2 mole. 2 mole equal to 4 mole. 1 mole equal to 1 mole. 2 mole equal to 2 mole means 2 molar. Suppose if you take 5 molar sulfuric acid, capital M, 5 molar sulfuric acid gives how many molar H plus ion, how many molar sulfate ion? So 1 mole gives 2 mole, 5 mole gives double, no, 10 mole, double. Next 1 mole gives 1 mole, 5 mole gives 5 mole means 5 molar. Okay, so in this we can calculate the number of ions. So here calculation of number of ions, but the condition is what? If solute undergo complete ionization. So condition is if solute undergo complete ionization. Okay, right on. Take this. When two solutions having same solute mixed, take as it is first. Right on. Calculation of number of or calculation of molarity of ions. Calculation of molarity of the ions from the salt solution. Calculation of molarity of ions from the salt solution. Right, in bracket you write if salt undergo complete ionization, if the salt undergo complete ionization. If it is undergo partial ionization, this concept is not applicable. Okay, example 1. You take 1 molar calcium chloride gives rise to 1 molar calcium chloride gives rise to, tell me, how many molar calcium plus ion, how many molar chloride ions? 1 molar calcium plus 2 ion, 2 molar Cl minus ions. Okay, next example 2. One molar AlCl3, if it is undergo complete ionization, which gives how many molar aluminum ion and how many molar Cl minus ions? It gives 1 molar aluminum plus 3 ions and 3 molar Cl minus ions. Next, example 3. Sulfuric acid undergo complete ionization. Right. If you take, it is a 2 molar sulfuric acid gives how many molar H plus ion, how many molar sulfate ions? 4 molar H plus, 2 molar sulfate ion. If you take 5 molar sulfuric acid, it is double, no? If you take 5, it become 10. So it is 5. Okay. One more example. Right. 2 molar NaCl mixed with Write down 2 molar NaCl mixed with 2 molar AlCl3 solution. Calculate the number of moles of Cl minus ions. I want only Cl minus ion. How many moles of Cl minus ions will be there? How many? NaCl and AlCl3. Okay, you just tell me here how many molar are taken? NaCl 2 molar. Okay, 2 molar NaCl gives 2 molar Na plus ion and 2 molar Cl minus ion, right? Yes or no? Then what about AlCl3? It is also taken 2 molar. 2 molar AlCl3 which gives rise to 2 molar Al plus 3 ion plus how many moles of Cl minus ion?
6.
How many molar? 2 3 is 6 moles of Cl minus ion, because 2 3 is 6 Cl minus ions. So therefore it is a 2 molar, it is 6 molar. So 2 plus 6, which is 8 molar Cl minus ion will be present in the solution. Okay. So this concept is used in common ion effect in electrochemistry and chemical equilibrium concepts. Okay. So next is normality. Tell me. Molality is given. Okay, write down molality. After molality is given. Right, molality. So what is molality and its formula? Tell me. So molality is, it is similar to molarity only, but only changes the number of moles of solute present in 1 kg of solvent, right? In molarity, 1 liter of solution, we take solution and liter, but here 1 kg of solvent, not solution. Therefore number of moles of solute, right, it is a number of moles of solute present in 1 kilogram of solvent. So number of moles of solute present in 1 kg of solvent is called molality. Then it is denoted by small letter m. Next, so what is the formula? Molality equal to number of moles of solute, n, right? So Na na, Nb na, Nb, number of moles of solute, right, present in 1 kg of solvent. So therefore it is a mass of the solvent. Solvent is A, okay, it should be in kilogram. So therefore molality equal to number of moles of solute Nb divided by Wa in kilogram. Next, where Nb equal to number of moles of solute. Next, Wa equal to mass or weight of solvent. It should be in kg. Okay. So therefore, can you tell me unit from here? It is a number of moles of solute, mole, right? This is a kg. Therefore, unit is mole per kilogram. This was the previous CT question. Which of the following is a unit of molality? Mole per kilogram. Okay, next, but we also know that NB, number of moles of solute equal to weight of the solute divided by gram molecular weight of solute, weight by gram molecular weight. So therefore substitute here, molality equal to weight of solute divided by gram molecular weight or MB, right, into it is a 1 divided by WA in kg. Next, but WA, the weight of the solvent, can be taken in grams. So therefore convert kilogram into gram, then it should be multiplied with 1000. Therefore molality is also equal to WB by MB into 1000 divided by WA in grams. So this formula is very, very important for calculation of molality. Okay. Next, there was question appeared in CET related to temperature. Now we know that molarity is depends on temperature because molarity contain volume term, right? So therefore what is the molarity? Capital M equal to N by V, no? N by V is a molarity where this molarity has volume term. When the temperature changes, volume changes. When volume changes, molarity changes. That means molarity depends on temperature. Now similarly, is it molality depends on temperature? So molality does not depends on temperature. You see this formula. Molality equal to number of moles divided by, this is what? Mass of the solvent. Right? Mass of the solvent. Is it mass of the solvent or any mass related to temperature? When mass is changes, when temperature changes, is it mass changes? Okay. So when you increase the temperature, is it 1 gram chalk beads become 10 gram? Agutta? Agalalva? It means, so temperature does not changes the mass, or mass is independent of temperature. Since mass is independent of temperature, molality also independent of temperature. Important, it was a previous question, right? So next point is molality is independent, does not dependent on temperature. It is independent of temperature. Okay. Next, now tell me, among molality and molarity, which is more preferable to calculate the strength of the solutions or concentration of solution? Whether molarity, capital M or small m. So among molarity and molality small m is more preferable compared to capital M because of this reason. Because capital M depends on volume. Yes or no? So since it is depends on volume, capital M changes with changing volume. Right? For example, molarity, capital M molarity has prepared a solution, molarity prepared today. Can you expect same molarity after 20 days also? After 2 months also? No. Why? One is temperature. Temperature changes. Now suppose let us take temperature is not much variation will be there, but it depends on volume, right? So when you open the reagent bottles like sodium hydroxide, today you have prepared sodium hydroxide, that is 1 molar sodium hydroxide today you prepared. Can you expect after 1 year same molarity? No. It changes because there are 2 reasons. One is the temperature, second one is volume. So when you open the sodium hydroxide bottle, obviously it exposed to atmospheric air containing moisture, right? When there is a moisture, we know that sodium hydroxide is a hygroscopic. There are some solute having hygroscopic nature. What is hygroscopic? They may absorb the moisture. When you open the sodium hydroxide box, sodium hydroxide pellets, they are small pellets like this. You just open sodium hydroxide box 4 to 5 days. So after 5-6 days you can find a liquid. So sodium hydroxide pellets converts into liquid form because this sodium hydroxide absorbs the moisture. So due to absorbing moisture from atmospheric air, they convert solid to liquid. Now same thing happen here. In case of sodium hydroxide, when you open the sodium hydroxide bottle, it absorbs moisture. When it absorbs moisture, what happens? The volume is increases. When the volume increases, what happens? Molarity. So volume and molarity both are inversely proportional. When volume increases, molarity is decreases. That means if you prepare today molarity 1, capital M 1, you cannot expect the same molarity after 1 year or even after 4-5 months also. Usually whether decreases or increases, usually decreases because volume usually increases. There are many salts having hygroscopic nature. They absorb moisture. When they absorb moisture, their volume increases, molarity is decreases. That's what. So the molarity of the solution is usually preferred when it is required. You should prepare in that time only, not to prepare and keep for 3-4 months and it is used. You will not get very accurate values. So instead of that, you prepare molality, small m. So molality has what? It is a N by V. Number of moles does not change. Solute, no. You are not adding solute, you are not taking solute. Then what may change? Volume changes, but volume is not here. Here mass is there. So this mass does not change. Okay. Since mass does not changes with the temperature and of course, so this molality is more preferred compared to molarity. Okay. 4 grams of sodium hydroxide. Where's the problem? 4 grams of sodium hydroxide dissolved in 250 ml of solution. 250 ml of solution. Find the molarity, capital M.
0.4.
Find the molarity. 0.4. So it's very simple. So here given that WB, right? WB equal to 4 grams. 4 grams of sodium hydroxide. What is the volume of solution is given? 250 ml solution given. So what is the formula to calculate molarity? Weight by gram molecular weight into 1000 divided by V should be in milliliter. Okay. Sodium hydroxide molality. What is the weight of sodium hydroxide given? 4. Then what is the molar mass of sodium hydroxide?
40.
You have to remember, and moreover you should remember, you need not to calculate. It is a 40 into
1000 by 20.
250. So 1 za, it is a 4 za. 0.4. So molarity is 0.4. Okay. So that means if the mass is given, you can calculate molarity directly. Next, one more model. Okay. 15% W by V. 15% W by V acetic acid solution. 15% W by V acetic acid solution prepared in aqueous solution. And its density is 3.1 gram per cubic centimeter. And its density is 3.1 gram per cubic centimeter. Calculate molarity, capital M. Calculate the molarity. So here, if the density given, what is the formula? W by V percentage into 10 into D divided by gram molecular weight or gram molecular mass. So molarity is equals to W by V. It is given 15. It is given 15 percentage, then 10 into 3.1 density given gram molecular mass. So what is the gram molecular mass of acetic acid? It is 60. See, some important solute, particularly solution topic, we use 1 acetic acid, 2 urea, NH2 CO, NH2 urea, glucose and sucrose and sodium hydroxide. Tell me, what is its molecular mass? 60. It is 60. This is 180. What is the sucrose? 342. What is the sodium hydroxide? 40. So you have to remember this. Tell me. 7 point. Next, one more. Right. Decimolar taken. Take this. You should remember. (250 ml) decimolar 250 ml decimolar NaOH, 250 ml decimolar NaOH is diluted to 1 liter solution. Is diluted to 1 liter solution. What is the molarity of the solution? What is the molarity of resulting solution? Okay, so this question based on dilution. 250 ml and decimolar. So therefore here initial volume in V1 is given 250 ml. And M1 initial molarity given how much? Deci means 0.1 molar. And next final volume given 1 liter. So 1 liter means we should take 1000 ml. No, why 1000 ml? Because we have taken 250. Take it is ml also. Then calculate molarity. M1 V1 equal to M2 V2. Calculate M2. Okay.